G'day listeners and welcome to episode 1 of our new podcast, Pattaya Down Under. With me I have the coach. We'll stick with the names.
G'day.
And a couple of virgins listening in, asking newbie questions. So a little bit about myself. I have been single or separated or divorced for...
There's a few things there.
Around probably around 13 years now. As a 40-year-old back then, my rite of passage, I thought I'll take a trip to Thailand, the land of many smiles, as the song goes.
Which song is that?
The Pattaya.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Okay.
Went with a couple of mates and they convinced me to go to Pattaya. I wasn't convinced. I wanted to go to Phuket, where all the young Swedish tourists were, and I thought that's where it was. And my mates convinced me to go to Pattaya, and so I did. And haven't looked back.
How many times you been?
So Thailand as a whole, I've been 14 times.
Thailand's a whole.
And so Pattaya, I don't know, mate, probably 12 times.
What did you call it then?
Well, it depends on where you're from. Pattaya,
Okay.
Pattaya.
Pattaya. I've heard that a few.
I think when I say proper Thai pronunciation, this is Thai pronunciation from an Aussie. Pattaya is probably the closest thing.
Pattaya.
Yeah. But we just get lazy and call it Pattaya.
Pattaya.
Been many times, but I've travelled Thailand extensively. I've been up north to Chiang Mai a couple of times, Chiang Rai, down south to Phuket, Samui, Phi Phi, been to Krabi, Kanchanaburi, Ayutthaya. I've actually been out Isan to visit a mate's girlfriend in the village out in
That's a bit of a hike.
Chai Pum, yep. I think I said Ayutthaya. Yeah, so I've done a little bit of Thailand, seen a little bit, love the place, but I just can't go past Pattaya.
I know.
It's fantastic. And yourself, coach, you're fairly new. You're fairly new to the game.
Yeah, but I did travel to Thailand a couple of times in the past and stayed in Bangkok for work. So I did a couple of trips purely for work, not for pleasure. Still enjoyed it.
There's a difference.
Yeah, there is. So when I went there, it was all air-conditioned rooms, PowerPoint presentations. Didn't really get to experience Thailand, so to speak. It was just all work. We went to a golf range once, and that's about it. I didn't do a lot except eat their food and hung around with the locals. Just talking bullshit, really, just about work and stuff. Yeah. So it was just a work trip. But the first trip I took was in 2018, if I remember correctly, and it was a bit of an experience. The trip, you go in, you land, and the first thing that hits you, like it does in every time you travel to one of those Asian countries, is you walk out of that airport, the glass doors open up, and there's just this lump of hot air just hits you, and you just feel like, I'm not in Australia anymore.
Yeah, the dude ripping a fart in front of you.
But,
that's the when you go there, that's the first thing before you experience anything else. Is that massive heat and it's night time. You've arrived at night and it's just hot.
It's sticking. It just sticks to you. Yeah,
it just gets you straight away.
But that's where it starts. That's where the excitement starts, because you know where you are. You know what's going to happen. You know what's coming. Yeah, and
our first trip our first trip together when I went was obviously not you and I. We took a couple of young blokes with us.
Yeah, your boys came along.
And had a bit of fun over there, and not the kind of fun we had after when we went on our own, but it was still a good experience. We were exposed to it.
They had their fun.
Yeah, we went to Walking Street. And went to a couple of the bars just to get the bit of the experience of what going to a bar is like over there, and you definitely see it's so different over there to here. We
actually hired a villa down south in Jomtien, Jomtien.
Yep.
Beautiful place. I think it was a bit of an eye opener for my nephews, for your boys.
Yes, it was.
Watching a different girl get ushered out the door every morning from my bedroom.
although no one's meant to know about that.
Oh, well, mate, this podcast is about Pattaya, you know.
That's the cleanest story you're going to hear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
that's pretty much it. Yeah.
So, yeah. So look, it was an eye opener. But then when we went on our own,
Yeah.
I think 2 times after that, if
Yeah.
I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And we had a third planned. And bloody
We had a
COVID
third
hit. So-
plan, didn't it, for
so-
April 2020.
So for those listening, the reason why we've started this podcast is that I've had my few experiences. My mate here's had his fair share of experiences, and I think that we're starting this up because we're actually going back, and we're going to do what we always said we were going to do, and that is to go over there and basically participate in Anzac Day. Over there in Kanchanaburi.
Kanchanaburi, yeah.
Kanchanaburi.
Down Hellfire Pass.
Hellfire Pass. So that's one of the things we're doing, and we thought we'd start up this podcast and just start talking about some of the experiences we had over there. Some people know about it, some people don't, and we thought we'd just go through a couple of stories and start talking about it. And a couple of blokes here that are with us can ask us questions as we go along, I guess.
Oh, they're engrossed in their computers there.
Yeah.
They're not
Maybe.
interested.
We're just
We'll see about it.
Googling stuff in Walking Street.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So look, I think
A raucous boulevard known for nightlife.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's
Raucous.
Pattaya's been known as the red light district of the world on steroids.
yeah.
There's a bar called Lucifer.
Yeah. 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 Hey, this may surprise you. I've been there.
Doesn't surprise me when you.
At all.
It won't surprise me because you took me to a place called Camel Toe.
Camel Toe, that's one of those hidden places
Yeah.
that sort of you
Just
your beginner, your newbie
a
probably
hidden
would
gem.
would not know where to find that place.
Yeah.
There are some hidden gems.
There are some places you need a motorbike.
And there is a
Yeah,
place
yeah.
called the Pattaya Fight Shop.
The fight shop.
The
yeah.
Fight Shop.
Where's that though?
Opposite the McDonald's.
Which McDonald's?
The one that's closer to Pattaya 16 Road,
Oh, okay, I know the one. Yep.
next to Milano Fashion.
Yep. That's just at the end of Second Road, or the start of Second Road, I think. Yeah, or as you come in from John TM, the Second Road. I think there's a McDonald's there on the right.
It's like a cheap
right,
version of Las Vegas. There's all the neon lights and everything else, but you're looking at Orientals.
You're looking at fake bananas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Well, to kick off a bit of a story,
Yep.
No
Right.
casinos.
that when we first went, we booked the villa.
Yep.
And we got a I don't know what you call it, a minibus, I guess it was. Was it a little
Yeah, it was a
minibus?
minibus. Yeah.
Took a minibus and went from the airport to Jomtien. Got there and were greeted by the hostess,
Oh, joy.
and she was a joy.
So the old coach pulls out his camera. Has about 40 photos of her cleavage. Joy, she's the villa owner, and she's married to a wealthy English guy, and she owns a few villas, and I rent villas off her all the time when I go. If I'm want to live the villa lifestyle, and her husband's bought her a nice set of melons, and
And she shows them off.
She got
too.
some bolt-ons.
the coach has a photo album to prove it. Yeah.
Many of them.
There's a Hooters there too.
She's actually
Yeah.
she's actually a
That's on
really
Beach
good
Road.
host. She's actually a really good host as well.
She's fantastic.
She's
Yeah,
a really good
great.
host. Anything we
Yeah.
needed, anything we wanted, and they had cleaners come in every morning.
Yeah. I think the cleaners came every second day, did they? Or every day?
Was it every
Did
day?
they come and polish everything?
Clean the pipes.
No,
They've-
I was worn. My knobs were worn out by then when they come in.
Clean the
I can't
canisters.
remember. It felt like every day, but you might be right. It might have been every second
Yeah,
day. And they came out and cleaned everything up. And probably the biggest shock for me is when we did get there, that I didn't experience on my business trips because I always stayed in Caucasian hotels.
Yeah.
You can't.
For whatever reason, I never had to do what I did in the villa or anywhere else I went, and that was
What
to
do you
use
mean? What did
a
you have
bum
to
gun.
do? A bumder?
A bum gun.
Oh, a bum gun. Oh, okay.
I
yes,
never
right.
experienced that in the Caucasian
The
hotels.
bum gun. I tell you,
They
mate,
add flushable toilets there.
I tell you, I've been there. Like I said, I've been there a dozen times. So and still haven't mastered the bum gun. That's an art form. That is.
Yeah,
That's really
To tap on
And
the
it-
hose.
to get it the right angle.
The Bay Marie.
And
I've
it's
tried.
what's it
I've
called?
tried
Fucking-
from the front, the back, the side. I
It
just
still does my head in
the bidet.
that if
Bidet.
you
Bidet.
that afterwards, if you do wipe with paper, you put it in the rubbish bin next to you.
Yeah, that's
You do that on the Greek islands as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's in a lot of those places.
That sort of, I just feel like
Yeah.
my shit is sitting right there. It just feels wrong.
Well, if you've used the bum gun properly,
Well,
it shouldn't be.
Well, I haven't.
The paper's more
I
or
haven't
less.
because I know. I
So
haven't
clearly the
because
coach
I
walks
don't
around
know
with
how-
shit still in his asshole.
No, I didn't. It's on the paper in the bin.
The bum gun doesn't work.
That's the time when waffle stomping's probably not a bad thing.
Correct.
You'd probably fit in nicely
there's
over
no
there,
waffles
mate.
there, mate. It's just a fucking hole. Just stomp it all the way through. Your leg go through it.
Peppermint a go-go. Have you been there?
A go-go bar?
Yeah.
A peppermint
Peppermint
a go-go.
go-go.
That'd be one of about 150 go-go bars.
Really?
Worldwide a go-go.
Or more.
But before,
So I like if you Google LK Metro, go-go bars in LK Metro, I've probably been to all of them because
LK Metro.
Walking Street's probably the tourist hotspot when it comes to Pattaya. Everyone goes there. But I find around LK Metro, the people are different. There's a lot of like-minded people. Got guys probably our age. A lot of English Aussies. Those kind of people.
Yeah.
And it's very relaxed. There's no hint of violence or tension. Not that there's a lot of violence there, but
you do hear your stories though.
I just prefer that end of Pattaya.
People smashing heads into walls.
Yeah,
fucking happens.
Pattaya,
Fucking animals.
Adelaide, doesn't matter, mate. It happens everywhere.
Both the
Happens
same
everywhere.
location.
Yeah, but I guess
Same people.
Another thing about this channel, I think I've as I said, I've been toing and froing for the last 13 years, and I've followed a lot of these guys on YouTube. I find a lot of them are English and the odd American, and there's a few Aussies out there, but not a lot of Aussies do this kind of thing. So it's just more from an Aussie perspective, which is probably no different than anyone else. So anyone's free to listen, but just more from an Aussie perspective. And
Well, let me ask you a question then.
Yep.
You've got a few experiences.
Yeah.
Can you pick one now to share with us?
Oh, look, my favourite story.
I do, and it's a great one, so I'm hoping you will share it.
Well, I'm happy to share, of course.
All right.
So, you know the story, but I'll run you through it again. So, I've been going there for a while,
And for all the listeners out there, you are single at this time. So
yeah. So I'll touch on later how I'm sure people listening probably already know, but I'll touch later about how the bar works and how you find your girls and how that all works. But when you've been a few times, you tend to make friends. Let's call them friends that you stay in touch with. And there was one girl in particular I stayed in touch with and spoke quite a bit when I was over here. And she, the long distance thing is really hard. And as you know, Coach, I have the 3 strike rule.
yes, you do.
Mine's
about 7.
For any of you experienced guys out there, you know what it's like when you meet a girl, you come back and you call her up and she doesn't answer and she calls you back the fucking next day and it's like, oh, sorry, my phone battery died, and when the whole time you've spent with them, they're on their phone 24/7, and three of those lies, see you later, want nothing to do with you. Yeah. So this girl I was chatting to, same thing happened, and that was it. Told her I'm done, fuck off. So fast forward to my next trip. And heading over there, and I'm talking to another friend, actually just my mate's girlfriend at the time, and chatting to her, and she's in a bar, and we're chatting away, and she was acting a bit sheepish, and then I said, "What's going on? Something's going on," and then she said, "Oh, I've got a friend here," and then this girl,
Same girl
that I was talking to, pops into the camera. "Oh, how you going?" Anyway, we got talking again, and I said, "Look, I'm coming over. If you want, you can hang out with me for a week." Because I think I was going up north or something for a while as well, going elsewhere, but I was in Pattaya for a week. So I said, you can stay with me. So that was the case. She's moved into the hotel, bags, makeup, the whole lot. First couple of nights we had fun, we had a good time. And probably the third night, whatever it was there, we were in the bar and having a few drinks. She was a 2-pot screamer, fucking 2 drinks and she was just already off her head. So I just happened to be flicking through Facebook and there was one of the other girls I knew from many years ago posted something on Facebook and she's looked at it and gone, "Who's that?" I said, "Oh, it's just a friend." Anyway, again, you guys know Thai women, they're fucking crazy jealous. she started falling off the handle, and I just said, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you're not even my girlfriend. Just relax. So anyway, it escalated, and I just said, look, I'm done. I'm out of here. Fuck off. You go back to your room tonight. I don't want you back at my place. So went back. I was staying at Opie de Place at the time, which is in Soy Linky. So between where I was in Soy Post Office, heading back to my hotel, Opie de Place, and thought I wanted to pass through OK Metro to my old favourite Billabong bar, you know. I went to the Billabong bar, half pissed, started chatting to a girl. Things happened. She came back to my room. So by this time it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I don't even know if I got the job done. We were that tired and pissed. So 3 hours later, I hear a fucking knock at the door, like a very loud knock, and I just thought, oh, that's her. That's the girl. So I go and open the door, I crack the door, and I said, and sure enough, she's there, and I'm like, what do you want? And she's, I want my bag, I want my clothes. I said, all right, fuck off, go wait in the foyer, I'll pack your bag and you can fuck off. So she storms off into the foyer waiting for me, go in the room, pack her bag, fucking everything, makeup, the whole lot. Zipped up the bag, walked out, handed her the fucking suitcase and said, don't talk to me ever again. So off she's gone. Let's go back into the room. As I've walked in, I see the girl that I picked up from the Billabong bar standing in the room, stark naked, with just this confused look on her face. And I said, what's wrong? And she said, where are my clothes? I'd fucking packed her clothes
in the
suitcase of the other girl's bag, sent her on her way. And,
awkward.
And, the blood just rushed from my head. I was just like, fuck.
What have I done?
So I've had 3 hours sleep. I'm pretty hungover. I've hopped on the back of a motorbike taxi. First of all, I said to the girl, come on, I'll take you shopping. We'll go to the market. I'll just buy you more clothes. And she said, it's 6 a.m. There's nothing open. I said, fuck.
So she did have something on?
No, she had nothing. I threw everything of hers.
But you said you'll get her on the back of the bike.
I'll go shopping for her.
Right,
whatever.
okay.
So she had nothing.
Right.
So
Would you have bought her men's undies?
Probably.
Should have given your own.
So I've hopped on the back of the bike, headed back to the girl's apartment because I knew where she lived.
Tail between your legs.
Yeah, tail between them. Knocked on the door. The door opens and she was that quick. She opened that suitcase.
And she knew.
In that time, she'd opened the suitcase, sorted through her clothes, realised these aren't my clothes, put them in a plastic bag. I've knocked on the door. She's opened it, thrown the bag at me, slammed the door in my face. And I said, okay, that's it. So I picked up the bag, hopped on a motorbike taxi back to my hotel, walked in, and the girl goes, oh, thank you. Did you get my makeup? I said, here's an extra fucking 500 baht, sweetheart. Go buy your makeup.
Your own makeup. No, I love that story.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
But that was it was fun. It was good.
Yeah.
Quite an experience. But I tell you, that girl, to this day, we still chat.
Not the nutcase one.
Hang on.
Not the one that threw the bag at you.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
The crazy one.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
right.
you remember?
Is that her?
When,
of course.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
She would make early morning visits.
Yes, I know which one.
Yeah, to the villa.
Yeah.
That was after all that happened.
Oh, okay. Right. Yes.
Some blokes are just irresistible.
Oh, or stupid. Yeah. To go back for more.
More money and sense.
Yeah. Not anymore.
So look, I don't know if this, I've like I said, I see a lot of YouTubers, and I like to listen to stories and stuff like that about Pattaya. So I've Googled podcasts, maybe guys talking about Pattaya, telling stories and all that sort of, and there's not much out there. So I said, well, why not, start up our own one, see how it goes. Hopefully it gains some legs, and
we hear stories from other people.
And, we hopefully maybe you guys can send us in some stories and we'll read them out and we'll have a bit of a laugh. And,
I don't have as many stories as you. You still got a lot more.
I've got a few. In the meantime, I guess we can chat a bit about what we're heading back in April.
Yes, we are.
To do our trip to Kanchanaburi for Anzac Day. For those listeners who are not Australian, Anzac Day, 25th of April. Fred may be able to touch on this. We celebrate. No, we remember.
Yeah.
We remember.
Pay our respects.
Pay our respects to fallen Australian, New Zealand soldiers at Gallipoli way back in the First World War. It's probably holds a lot more than Remembrance Day or Armistice Day or Veterans Day, whatever you want to call it. Pretty big day in the calendar of Aussie veterans. So we did that.
And after the ceremony,
sorry, I'll just keep going. Sorry, just the whole idea of Anzac Day there is also it's where the Japanese built the Burmese railway.
yes,
And where a lot of Australian, English, I think Dutch, and local Thai,
and Americans.
Burmese, and Americans. A lot of POWs died just, they're on the tracks working, building the railway, and they'd just keel over, and the Japanese would just push them aside and keep on moving. And so we'll head down there next year.
Yep.
And then a few days there, and then down to Sin City.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe a lot's changed.
Yeah, I've been watching a few things and reading a few things, and a lot has changed. There's a lot of places that haven't reopened. It's some places are still boarded up, and some places are actually trashed completely. So it's going to be different. I'm hoping by the time we get there, a lot of it has been rebuilt. I'd like to see it back in its old glory. People around everywhere. One of the things I really enjoyed when I went was that you could get up at 2:00 in the morning, go downstairs, and there's still hundreds of people all over the place, and it's just
crazy.
It's just a great thing that it doesn't matter what time of the night it is. Although I'm sure you'll get to like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and people are starting to go bye-byes. But it means that 2:00 in the morning you can go down, you can go 7-Eleven, get a drink. You can get
a toasty from 7-Eleven.
Yes, you can. There's so many. It's just the nightlife is amazing. It's just people everywhere, and it's just a great buzz, an absolute buzz when you're walking through those streets, and especially the little side vans, the little food vans.
Oh I love that. I love eating off the street.
On the street, some of those. I remember there was one in Alco Metro that made those little pizzas.
The pizza lady, she was good.
She was good.
Yeah.
So there's a lot.
How's her pizzas?
It's actually
pizzas are good.
Very nice.
Very good pizzas.
Yeah, you'd be very surprised how good it is.
She served taco?
Well, there's taco everywhere.
Only
there,
seafood. There's another seafood story.
Yeah.
So there's lots of stories. But look, we just wanted to share why we're doing this, and wanted to give one story to everyone listening that you can at least realise what this podcast is going to be about. Yep. So we're doing a lot more in the future. So as we get closer, we'll actually do some from Pattaya when we're there. We'll actually take some photos and stuff, and record a few things while we're over there and add to the podcast. So it'll be great. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah,
once we get ourselves sorted, we'll probably maybe start up an email account and bang a link in our podcast bio. We can do that. And
you can send us some stories.
In any information, stories you like, whatever you want, and
go from there.
But before we wrap it up, I guess I could just talk about my first time there, my first experience of Pattaya. Went with a couple of mates, who the coach knows and would agree they're probably a couple of the craziest people you'll ever meet. So I was a bit concerned. Bear in mind, I was pretty scared to go to Pattaya. I just didn't know what to expect. I'd heard a lot about it. So we booked a hotel, the Mantra Pura, I think it was called, not knowing anything about where to stay, where the hot spots were, what the best place. But this was up somewhere, I think near Third Road, and where's the Dolphin Roundabout? So head up to the Dolphin Roundabout, and it's you hang a right and you go right up to the Third Road, and it's fucking miles away. Sorry, I lost my bearings. I've forgotten where we were. Yeah, Third Road. That's it. It's on the corner of Third Road and North Pattaya Road. Miles from anywhere. I had no idea. So when we arrived 11 o'clock at night, and I was just like, "No, I'm tired, boys. I'm going to bed." And they said, "You mad? We've got to go out." I said, "No, I'm tired. Been a long flight, long trip down. Hour and a half in a taxi after an 8-hour flight." So I went to bed. Anyway, next morning I knock on the door, and one of the boys is like, "Mate, you got to come and see this joint. It's off its fucking head." So we hop on a motorbike taxi.
Was that their first time too?
Yes. Okay. Yep. So we hop on a motorbike taxi, head down to Beach Road. One of my mates and I went. The other one was still sleeping. Hopped off the motorbike taxi. At that, there's a beer bar complex near the police station on Beach Road. I think the bar we went into from memory was the Joker Bar, Poker Bar, whatever it was. And as soon as I stepped off my bike, there were girls, and I was like, wow, what's going on here? This place is amazing. And yeah, we pretty much spent the next 11 days doing that every day.
Yep.
Drinking, girls, up, bar. Drinking, girls.
And that's pretty much what
up
we
the
did
next
when we went
morning,
as well. It was
bar.
just the same
Yeah.
thing over and over again.
But yeah, that's when I first learned. And I was pretty fortunate in the Joker bar, poker bar, I can't remember what it's called. She wasn't the mama son, she was more like the manager. And we befriended her pretty quick, and she was really good. She told us the ins and outs, bar fines, how they work, the girls, how they work, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it was quite an experience. And, yeah, like I said, never look back.
Yeah.
Love the place. It's good fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going again.
Yeah.
Be interesting. All right.
Yeah. So,
Well, we'll wrap it up then, and we'll do another one soon. We'll think about some stories we want to tell.
I think, yeah, maybe next time, for anyone who hasn't been, I'll probably explain how the whole bar thing works.
That might be a good idea.
Yeah, you know, when you meet a girl, what happens, and, you know...
The do's and don'ts.
The do's and don'ts of the girls, and also we'll probably another time we could touch on the do's and don'ts in Thailand in general.
Yeah.
You know, as far as their culture goes.
Yep.
Very different than life here in Australia, that's for sure.
That's true.
A lot of fun. So, yeah, well, it's goodbye from me.
Yeah, me too. Take care, everyone.
And
We'll talk
hopefully
again to you
chat
soon.
to you soon.
Yeah, no worries. All right.
See you all.
See you
Bye.
later. Bye.